Last question before we move on to the next thing I want to talk about. You and I had discussed the TPUs from Google potentially being we don't know how large a slice of that market they'll end up taking. So, given what you know about China, and you've been doing this for a long time and you've seen their market develop over how many years now, what probability would you handicap them having these advanced lithography machines that ASML was making? Do they maybe have their own technology? Is that something you see could be a potential?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great question. We spoke about it, but I just finished reading that Breakneck book by Dan Wang, which was excellent. This is not a country that's going to sit by and wait for us to decide whether we're going to sell them our most up to speed NVDA chip. I think it comes across disrespectful, if you ask me. And I think they've addressed that. I think, to your point, there's been talk about that. I obviously don't read anything different than you read, but my instincts are that if they're in a competitive race for AI, no different than when Tesla was manufacturing there and BYD became effectively learned how to manufacture the best, electric car. Yeah. So I think they are, and I don't know if you've seen the same reports. I think there is, whether it's a threat from the U.S. with the TPUs, or whether it's potentially AMD, or whether it's China. This is a proud country that's not going to sit by and do nothing and wait for us to make this decision. So I think and from what it sounds like with DeepSeek, well, initially the first time you and I were short that one in January, I don't know if they were using older NVIDIA chips. I from what it read like they were. I'm not tech savvy enough to break that down. I barely know what the GPUs are. So for me, I think the more we tell the world that this is some race against China, the more that China wants to compete as well. I just don't feel like they're doing nothing, and I think that NVIDIA is priced as if China doesn't have any idea what they're doing with regard to chips.